Okay, now that we've seen a bit more of algebra, we come back to cryptography. Now we will show the famous RSA crypto system. Now, RSA. So, I give an example here, and here I give the theory. So we go in parallel. So we have Alice and his friend Bob. Now we want to use RSA on Alice. Alice has a public key and a secret key. And Bob, it doesn't matter. Bob will use the public key of Alice. It's public, everybody knows it. Okay, so first of all, we need to prime P and Q primes. And for security reason, they must be of similar size. So log 2 of P close to log 2 Q. So as the example, we take P11 and Q13. Now we consider N, which is the product of P and Q. So in this case, N is 11 times 13, 143. N is part of the public key. Now we consider Zn star, which is isomorphic to Z of phi of n. So in this case, Z143 can be thought of as Z of phi of 143. What is this? These are primes, so it's 10 times 12, 120. Now what we do here? Well, now we choose an element here. So we choose E, which is prime with phi of n. And this is called the public exponent. Public exponent. Then we need to find D such that E times D is congruent to 1 modulo phi of n. How the encryption goes? Well, one way to use it is the following. If B wants to send something secret to A, Bob take a message, M, the plain text. So M is the plain text. Then we can compute M, so the ciphertext. You take M to E mod M to E mod N. This is the cipher. So the plain text to the public exponent, you reduce modulo N, and you get the ciphertext. And then what happens? Then the point here is the following. From C, Alice knows his secret key, which is actually D. So C to D is actually M mod M. So A and D are inverse one of the other, and so Alice knows D can cover M, but any other people, they can't. So in numbers we can choose, for example, E as 103. Note that 103 is prime with 120. Now, what about the inverse? Well, to compute the inverse, we need phi of n. We need, and only Alice knows that. So P and Q are private. The product is public, but P and Q separately, they are private. But for Alice, not a problem. Alice knows P and Q. So he knows phi of n, and so what he can do, he can look for the inverse of 103, modulo phi of n. Now it happens, the 103 times 7 is congruent to 1 modulo 120. How we can get this? Now assume this is true for the moment. So we have that E, the public exponent, is 103, and D, the private exponent, is 7. Now, if M is 2, what happens? Bob takes 2 to E, so 2 to 103, so he's doing this part, modulo N. And n is 1/4. Now this is a huge number, but you don't need to compute all this number and then to reduce. You can compute a part of this number, then reduce, times a part of the number, then reduce, and so on. So anyway, this computation will give you 63. Now to decrypt, Alice takes 63 to 7, and only Alice knows 7, and mod 143, and this happens to be 2. So Alice gets the message, the encrypted message. Now, how is it possible to find 7 for 103? There should be inverse in Z120 here. Now we know how to do that. We did that with Euclidean division. So you should be able to do this. You use the fact that this is prime with 122. You divide 122 times 103. You take the remainder, you keep dividing, and so on. You already saw that. Now, what happens? Now I want to show you a little problem. What happens if Alice isn't very clever? So Alice can use 7 or 103. Now suppose that Alice chooses as public exponent 7. What's wrong? Well, if the message is 2, then M to E mod 143 is 128 mod 143, which is 128. So, if the exponent is small, the public exponent, the attacker can try to get the root. So, if the exponent is small, if E is small, then the attacker can try the root. C. In this case, the attacker can get 128, and the 7th roof of 128 is 2. So if the attacker gets a perfect power, like now, he will get the message. So it's dangerous to choose small exponents, small public exponents. Now, what about the security of of these methods? Well, the security lies within many small parts, but the main idea is that Alice knows P and Q and D. Everybody, so Eve, knows P times Q and only E. So it knows, of course, Alice knows also E, so and P and Q. And so, if the attacker can factorize N, the attacker will get P and Q. And so, the attacker, if he can get P and Q, then he can get phi of N. And if it has phi of N, then from E it will get the private exponent. And the system will be broken. So the main robustness of RSA lies in the fact, as I said in other lectures, that it's very difficult to factorize the product of two big